Hi there, welcome to the basement. Tonight we're going to install the Y-axis DRO on my round column mill. I've already installed this one and I've kept it away from the bed with a slot here so that the garbage, the swarf and the coolant don't have to fall on the DRO, the slide. So I think I'm going to do the same thing here. I'll show you what my plans are. Let's move you over here. A little bit extra light tonight. So I think I can do this without making any, drilling any holes in the mill and tapping anything. I have these bolts which hold it to my table. So what I'm going to do is slot these two pieces of angle iron, put them like that, and at the back like that. I'm going to same as I did on the front, I'm going to mount my DRO under there and put this like this. I'll cut it to length like that. So that'll be like that. And to mount the DRO to the slide, I'm going to, let's see if I can get you in here. I'm going to take these two bolts off, remove this thing, and either put this like that. This is a bit big and bulky, so I looked at, I have this aluminum flat bar, but it's really springy, so I don't think I'm going to use that. I'm probably going to use this aluminum square tubing. Cut it here, drill it, and have it so I can put the head, recess the head in here, and then I'll drop that down to go underneath the DRO. But I think at first I'm going to slot these and put them there, and I'll put a piece across and dial indicate across and get that fairly straight. With the slot, I can get these straight along with my Y-axis, and then when I mount this, I can finalize the position and have it straight that way. And so let's get set up and do that. Okay, while I have everything set up, I am going to mark my length that I need to cut that at. Now this slide is longer than my travel, so I have no problems there. If I put that there, so I think I can cut that right flush with the end. Let's move this out to here. That will be like that, and I can cut this right here. Okay, there. So let's just cut this to length. Let's see if this is plugged in. So I'm going to drill a pilot hole. I'll use this one. And it's 100. $175,000. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. So I think we're going to lower this too. We don't need it quite that high. Let's use our DRO. So let's go over how we find our centers and our center. We take our calculator and we find out half. This is 1 inch, 680 thou. So let's clear that. We have 1 inch, 0.680 divided by 2 equals 840 thou. So we want our slot to be at 0.840. Now, our center drill is 0.1 75 total width, so the center of that is divided by 2 equals 0.0875. So what we're going to do, touch the corner of this while it's running to the edge here. When it starts ticking, we set it at 0, and then we move over to 0.0875. That will put the center of this to this edge of that. Let's do that. Okay. Just touch, raise it up, set that to 0. We'll move this to 87.5. There's 87.5 thou. So now we are at 0. We'll set that to 0 again. and we'll move over 840 thou to the center. So 840 thou is the center of that. Now I think I want to put my slot near the top, maybe a 1/4 inch long. So we'll come down here. We'll move in till we touch. Like that there. Of course, I don't have a DRO for this one, so I'll have to do this one by hand. Set that to 0. Go up. Move in 87.5 thou. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85. 87.5 thou. That puts the center. That puts the center to the center of that. So I'm going to move in. Actually, I think these ones I won't slot. I'll slot this part. Yes. So I'm going to move in 1/2 inch. Set this to 0. So let's move in 1/2 inch. That's 100,000, 200, 300, 400, 500 thou. So now that we have that, we will set our hole. I'm going to raise that up, and I am going to put my 3/8 inch end mill in a collet. Let's take this out. I'll just set this over there. Now I'll have to move that over. So I have to move this over so I can get this out. So what I'm going to do is set this to 0. That way I can get back to my 0. Move this over. Take this out. And I'll go get a 3/8 end mill. Now, if I return this to 0, I should be back where I need to be. I don't know if I have enough travel. Oop. So what we're going to have to do is lower the mill. Now, since I've started this hole, all I have to do is lower the mill and then swivel the head till it touches the hole, and I'm back where I want to be. That should be good enough. Now, I want the 1/2 inch slot. This should finish it. The other one I'm going to touch and just drill a hole. I don't need to have both ends with the ability to adjust. I only need one end so I can straighten it out. So let's go up. I'm going to go back to the origin here. That is my 0. I go back up and I go 250 thou. That's 100, 200, 250 thou. Now let's move over. I'm going to go down. That's touching. I go up, take my calculator, clear, it's 0.375 is the diameter of my cutter. I want to find my center, so I'm going to divide that by 2. And that's going to give me 1.875. So if I clear this and move over to 0.1875. .186, 187, 1.875. The center of my cutter is now on the center of that. Now, I'll measure this. At that point it is 0.680. 1 inch, 680 thou. 1 inch, 0.680 divided by 2 equals 840 thou. So if I set that back to 0 and move over 840 thou, $750, $790, $821, $33, $38, $39, $40, 840 thou puts my cutter in the center of that. So let's just drill a hole. Can't do that. I don't have a center cutting end mill. So what I'm going to do is take that end mill out. And put a 3/8 drill bit. So I'm going to zero that. Move it out of the way. That back to 0. That gives me a slot on one end for adjustment and a bolt hole at the other end. I'm going to flip these over and put a hole in this other to attach them. Let's have a look. So this one's going to go at the front, I think, and the slotted one at the back, so I can adjust the rail in and out. This is going to attach like this. Like that. Get this out of the way. So what I am going to do is mark, this one is going to go at the end, and I'm going to use a 1/4 inch tapped hole for this. Like that. I'm just going to check. Like that. Yes, so I will have lots of room. So let's have a look. But the way you can see. So this is 1 inch and a half. This is going to go like this. So I'm going to drill and tap a hole 3/8 of an inch from the edge, halfway in this. Yes, and I'll slot one end of this and not the other. So .750 in the middle. So it'll be .750. Let's do this here. .750 here. .750 and half of 3/8 of an inch this way, which will be .175. 0.185, and I'll do that to the two. I'll do the first one, then I'll get a measurement to the second one. I have to have the holes so that they line up with these bolts. There. So let's do this. And I'll lift that up a couple inches. Keep that right, don't lose it. Tighten that. .175 divided by 2 equals 87.5. So I want .750 from this edge. .7.5 puts the center of the bit to to the edge, and I want to move in I'm just going to move in 3/8 of an inch. 375 thou. And I want to move into 750 thousandths from there. So we'll go down, move in till we touch. Guess I should have tightened that. Alright, move in till we touch. There, it's touching. Set my hand wheel to 0. Move in 87.5 thou. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 87.5 thou. That puts us the center of our cutter spindle to the edge. So we'll reset this to 0, which is right there, and I want 750 thou in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 750 thou in. Now, since I retightened that, I'm going to touch it off the edge again. That was within 1 thou. 87.5 thou to the center of the spindle. And then 375 to where I want my hole. To 300. $375. So let's just start that. Now I want to find some bolts. I need my scraper here. Clean some silicone off. Now I need 2 wrenches.